Ladies and gentlemen, it is go time. My name is Todd Grisham. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
The pleasure's always mine, my friend.
It's time now for our tale of the tape. Jake LaMotta, 5'8" tall, 160 pounds with a reach of 67 inches. And he'll be facing... Here comes the Bronx Bull, Jake LaMotta. Here comes a man so legendary they made a movie about him starring Robert De Niro. But this is the real deal. Stay long with Jake LaMotta, and even that may not be good enough. Saul Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican legend, the middleweight, the super middleweight, the light heavyweight who fights out of Guadalajara, Mexico.
As soon as the bell goes, don't blink. That fight could be over.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner.
We've waited a long time for this fight. It's here, and the fighters are good to go.
Close the door, close the curtains. This is it. Right. Let me enjoy myself.
And there's the bell to start round one. That counter shot lands. They've got to use their jab better in this fight. Well done with that counter shot. They have no respect for each other's punching power. Nice counter shot. There's a counter shot. And just as quickly as the action slows down, it heats back up. How about that time counter shot? A perfect counter shot. So much pre-match drama before this showdown. Who could forget what we saw yesterday at the weigh-in? These two boxers are finally ready to get it on.
Situations like this, Todd, will either make or break a fighter, because the expectation from the thousands of people here, of the millions of people around the world, people like you and I sat here expecting everything and anything, can break a man or make a man.
Those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. They both want a knockout, you can tell. Good counter punch. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about LaMotta in that last round. They've got the momentum, they've got the advantage. How do they carry that into the next round?
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up, they've got this fight.
Good man, good man. He's not in your league.
Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
Good counter punching. A perfect counter lands. Just missed with that hook. You're not going to see a lot of finesse and skills from this guy. He wants to bury his forehead in your chest and pound away.
A swarmer, a good swarmer, will get inside you like a bee. Like a bee just pickpocketing, stinging you wherever you leave yourself open. A swarmer is the worst kind of fight to fight.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Nice counter shot. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Nice counter. Nobody home with that hook. every time they throw a shot, they get countered. They're both trying for a knockout. He misses with that straight left. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about LaMotta in that last round. That was almost a 10-8 round. Complete dominance.
Dominance.
Get your focus back at that jab.
On to the third. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
When you're fighting a counterpuncher, you want to bait them in to throw first. Make them think you're going to throw a punch so that they exchange.
You're fighting a counterpuncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counterpunchers, they're watching you every move, that every twitch.
He threw a punch and just got countered. When are we going to see a jab from these two? And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? Beautiful counter shot. The straight right just misses. Catch and shoot. Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about LaMotta in that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give that round to you-know-who.
And he's going to be confident.
On to the fourth we go. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Punch, counter punch. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to get rocked? And he scores with the counter. They exchange punches. They are giving us a high-tempo show. I can't believe we're only halfway through the round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
That counter punch caught him clean. This fighter's certainly not going to out-throw their opponent by any means, but they will, when they hit, be a lot harder.
Middleweights always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you're in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, well, we'll just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable middleweight.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about LaMotta in that last round. Well, here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on him. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Back and forth they go. You'd like to see more jabs. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you're there and you know you're in there with a banger.
Oh, Johnny, take a look at this action. We've never seen Canelo in this sort of trouble. I don't believe what we're seeing here.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about LaMotta in that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, there's no doubt. This is the beginning of round 6. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. They stop the hook there. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Nice counter punch right up the middle. Right hook just missed. Both fighters landing in these exchanges. Judge is going to have a tough job.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Can't land the jab there. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Beautiful counter punch. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Alvarez in that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on.
You cannot gas out if you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything.
Here we go, it's round 7. That 1-minute break surely wasn't enough for him to completely recover.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
You're you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there. These guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. And it hurts. And you can imagine that being used. They're the size of an average man.
Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. That hook was off target. The straight right just misses. His stamina is off the charts. Nice counter punch. The Raging Bull is dazed. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. You've heard the old phrase, this might come down to who. There's the bell to start round 8. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Good counter punching. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is a heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there and you're letting the shots go, you've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. You know the amazing fights at middleweight are ridiculous. That is what writes our history books.
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Is he going to punch himself out, though? Throwing a hook, but nice defense there. The referee taking a look here, and if the fighter can't see, the fighter can't fight. And the referee's going to allow him to fight. So he will take a knee here and get a nice reprieve from the action.
That must have really dented the ego. You don't want your opponent to see you do that.
Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Stamina is always an issue.
All your work all the way through cage.
Let's see how much fatigue we see here in round 9. Let's see how much recovery they saw there in the last minute.
What are they doing that now? Are they trying to get an early night? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in 1. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Oh, the Raging Bull just got clipped. Didn't wait too long to get back and get engaged.
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Beautiful counter shot. Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. Both men step back for just a moment. Incredible work rate. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. How much cardio was put in for this?
Calm yourself down.
And there's the bell to start round 10. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. Just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
Oh, my word. Canelo just got clipped. How are they still standing?
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, then boom, back into it. But do not make those mistakes. This is the wrong place to fall asleep.
This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Misses with the straight left. Canelo Alvarez just got rocked in a big way. Didn't wait long to get back in and get engaged.
It's been a tough round so far.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Alvarez in that last round. Now you start wondering how...
I need you to focus on what you're doing.
This is the 11th. We've entered the championship rounds. They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. That right hook won't score. There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Some nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. His stamina is off the charts. Blocks the left uppercut. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Good counter punch. Talk about Alvarez in that last round.
Completely. It's got.
There's the bell for round 12. Not sure these two fighters can keep up the pace we saw last round, but you know they're going to try.
What are they doing that round? Are they trying to get an earning out? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you start thinking. You've just got to be smarter than them. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket them.
He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. Stamina is off the charts. What an upset here as Alvarez goes down. What a knockout headshot. Let's watch it again. And they knew it when they threw it. The referee says we will fight on. Not sure about this one.
Somebody can smell blood here. They can smell blood. They've got to be smart. Get in there. Then boom, back in the same spot again. It happened once. You got away with it. You can do it again.
That jab doesn't score. They block that jab. They're happy this round's coming to an end. 10 seconds left. Some might have thought it was a little bit closer, but in the end, the referees are in a unanimous agreement.
They've done it before. Now they're doing it again. And look what's happened. They're unanimous